Hey everyone, today we're continuing on with our unit on volume, and today we're going to be finding the volume now of triangular prisms. So it's just like a 3D triangle. So in order to find the volume of a triangular prism, we have to complete two different steps. We use this formula here that says volumes equal B times H. But this B stands for the area of the base, and the area of the base of a triangular prism is a triangle. So we have to first find the area of the triangle and then multiply the area of the triangle by the height of the prism. So that's why we have our two steps. So we're going to be using the area of a triangle formula, which is area equals 1/2 times base times height. Then we're going to take our answer here and multiply it by the height of the prism. So let's get started. If we look at this first example, I listed out all the steps for you. We just have to fill in these text boxes. So here's my triangular prism. The base of this triangular prism is right here. And if you notice, it's a triangle. So what I first have to do is find the area of this triangle. Again, the area formula for a triangle is area equals 1/2 times the base times the height. Okay, so we first need to identify what's our base of the triangle and what's our height of the triangle. Where the base is right here, it's the bottom of the triangle. And the bottom of that triangle or the base is equal to 5.5 inches. So I'm going to plug in 5.5 into this text box here. Notice how I already typed in the 1/2 for you. I'm going to bring down that second multiplication sign. Then I got to plug in the height of the triangle. The height of the triangle is shown here with this red line, and the arrow pointing to that red line says 2 inches, which tells me that the height of this triangle is equal to 2 inches. Okay, so now in order to find my area, I simply need to multiply these three numbers together. So I need to multiply 1/2 times 5.5 times 2. Now, if you have a scientific calculator, you can plug in 1/2 as a fraction. Remember, we use that ABC button. You plug in the numerator, so we will plug in 1 ABC 2. That's how your calculator represents the fraction. If you do not, and you're using a phone or another device, you can plug 1/2 in as 0.5. And I wrote that in this red box over here. Okay, so you can do 0.5 times 5.5 times 2. So when I multiply those two numbers together, we get 5.5. That tells me that the area of this triangle right here is 5.5. Okay, and it's be inches squared. But we're not done. That was our first step. Now we come to step 2. Step 2 is to identify the height of the prism. So the height of the prism is right here. It's 4 inches. Remember, it's not going to be 5.5 and it's not going to be 2 because we already used that for the area of the triangle. So it's going to be the other length here. So the height of this prism right here is 4 inches. So I'm simply just going to type in 4 in this text box. That's it. Okay, now step 3 is to substitute or plug in both numbers from step 1 and step 2 into the volume formula, B times H. Okay, so the B is the area of my triangle, which was the number in step 1. So I'm going to plug in 5.5, bring down my multiplication sign. And then the H was the height of the prism, which was the number I typed in step 2. So I'm going to plug in 4. Now to find the volume of this triangular prism, I simply need to multiply these two numbers together. So I'm going to multiply 5.5 times 4. And when I do that, I get 22. Okay, so that tells me that the volume of this triangular prism is going to be 22 cubic inches. Okay, and that's it. Let's do another one. Okay, another triangular prism shown right here. Our first step is to find the volume, or excuse me, find the area of the triangle. So the area of this triangle is this triangle right here. Okay, so we first need to identify the base. The base is the bottom of the triangle. The bottom of the triangle is equal to 12 meters. So where it says base, I'm going to type in 12. I'm going to bring down that second multiplication sign. And then my height of my triangle is right here. How tall is the triangle? Well, it's equal to 5 meters. So I'm going to plug in 5. Now, in order to find the area of this triangle, I need to multiply 1/2 times 12 times 5. Please do not forget to multiply also that 1/2, guys. If you don't, you will get the answer incorrect. A lot of kids forget to do that, which is why I drew that, I typed in that stop sign to make sure you remember to do that. So again, you can plug in 0.5 or 1/2, then times 12 and times 5, and we get 30. Okay, so the area of the triangle is going to be 30. which comes now we come to step 2. What is the height of the prism? Well, the height of the prism is just the other measurement that we were given, and the height of the prism is going to be equal to 9. So I'm just going to type in 9 here. Whoops. Okay. Then I am now going to come to step 3, which is I substitute or plug in both numbers from step 1 and step 2 into this formula. So for B, that was the area of the base, which was a triangle. So I'm going to type in 30, bring down my multiplication sign, and the height of my prism was 9. So now in order to find the volume of this triangular prism, all I have to do is multiply 30 times 9. And when we do that, we get 270 cubic meters. Okay? All right, we'll do one more. Here we have another triangular prism. Again, our first step is to find the area of this triangle right here. So again, guys, we're looking at this triangle. So we're going to be using the unit of measurements that are right next to this triangle. We're not paying attention to this 12 centimeters yet. So we got to find the base of the triangle. The base of the triangle is also the bottom of the triangle, and the bottom of the triangle is equal to 6 centimeters. So I'm going to plug in 6. I'm going to bring down my multiplication sign. Now I need to identify the height of my triangle, or how tall is my triangle. Well, that's shown right here, and that is equal to 8 centimeters, so I'm going to plug in 8. Now, in order to find my area, I need to multiply these 3 numbers together. I have to multiply 1/2 times 6 times 8. So 1/2 times 6 times 8 gives us 24. So the area of this triangle is going to be 24. Okay, now we come to step 2, identify the height of the prism. Well, I know it's not going to be 8 or 6 because I already used that to find the area of the triangle. The height of my prism is right here, 12 centimeters, so I'm simply going to plug in 12. Okay, now we come to step 3. Simply plug in both of the numbers we got in step 1 and step 2 into this formula. Volume equals base, the area of the base times the height. So the area of my base, which was the area of my triangle, is 24. I'm going to bring down my multiplication sign. My h, or the height of the prism, was equal to 12. So I'm going to plug in 12 instead of writing h again. Now, in order to find the volume of this triangular prism, I simply need to multiply 24 times 12. And when I do that, I get 288. So the volume of this triangular prism is 288 cubic centimeters. Okay, guys, and that's it. So again, a 3-step procedure. First, you're going to find the area of the triangle by typing in all the information into these green text boxes. Then you're going to identify the height of the prism. This step's the easiest step. We don't have to do any math here. You simply got to look at the diagram and plug in the height. Then for step 3, you're simply taking the number you got in step 1 and the number you got in step 2, plugging it into this formula in these pink text boxes, and then just multiplying those 2 numbers together. Okay, you guys are now going to complete the volume of triangular prisms assignment. It looks almost identical to these notes. The only difference is the triangular prisms and the numbers are different, but you're going to be filling in your work just as I did in these text boxes. Okay, guys, as always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.